Says Tony Braxton, you're making me high. Zozie is definitely ticking all boxes in that regard. Absolutely. Soul on cloud beyond 9.
Oh, yes, I'm just telling everyone how lucky we are.
Today, you're not Penduka, you're Sol Pezul.
Oh, yes. Like, we're so lucky. Like, I'll probably die without meeting another Miss Universe, like, you know, in person and
I really
see
hope
them
that
and
you
touch
do.
them.
I hope that you do.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Meet another one.
We're talking about your USP that, you know, it'll probably take a while. I mean, I know that each and every one of us are unique and are special in our own way. But the manner in which you are special for that title from home, it really is something completely out of this world. It really is.
Thank you.
It really
Thank you so
is.
much.
And you carried it very gracefully.
I tried. It was, you know, it was such a tough time because of, you mentioned like a difference in the kind of woman who steps into that platform. And it really was. But I'm glad that it happened because then it means so many things are possible. It means Sol will probably meet another Miss Universe.
From South Africa, I'd love to. Yes.
Yes, you know, we can only hope and
How do you feel about being made like the face of natural beauty, you know, without weave and stuff? Because maybe one day you might want to have a weave on or go bold or change something. How isn't that like pressure?
For me, I always tell people I don't have my hair like this to make a political statement. I have my hair like this because I love my hair like this. I think I look good in my hair like this. I think I look good in it. It's an aesthetic choice.
Yes.
But I do not deny that it holds a very important, you know, message because I won in this hair, which is something that had never been done before. And I'm very aware that women have struggled with natural beauty before because of standards that have been put, you know, in front of us by society. However, I think I always tell people my hair is a message of autonomy for women. Being able to do what we want to do, look how we want to look, and still feel, you know, most beautiful. So if I want to change my hair, I will. I will, because I cut my hair without having asked anyone. And so if I want to grow it back, I will do it with not asking anyone.
It's amazing how the crown, being hair for females, has been made into such a big debate.
Yeah.
Like if you're in weaves and wigs, you're fake.
Yeah.
If you wear eyelash extensions, you're fake. If you wear nails that aren't your own, you're fake. Natural hair, you're too political.
Yeah.
You're trying to be a feminist. It's wild, hey? It really is. It's society is. Human beings are generally just trash sometimes, I swear to you.
Yeah, but isn't it interesting though? Because when you think of black women, that we have the ability to be able to do all these different kinds of hairstyles. You would be interested to find out that there's actually black women with straight hair, short hair, afro. There's different textures, and that's the beautiful thing about, you know, being black, is that we can, in fact, do all of these things. If we choose to.
If you were to be given 10 million rand right now, Zozie, what would you plug it into?
Sure.
Have you thought in the scope of work and the scope of passions that you have? If you're to be given, like literally right now, somebody says, okay, cool, I have money to invest in something. Here's a bag of.
Shucks. Definitely personal investments, because you always want to build, you know, that wealth. And for me, it's always been an important thing to make sure that I build that for myself and my family and for those who come after me, so that we never really have to worry about those things. Also, at the moment, I am opening my foundation, and it is, people will not tell you how tough it is.
It is,
you know, to be able to go out and to find sponsors and to find people who want to put money into things that actually matter.
Even as Miss Universe.
It definitely might not be as tough as for another person who's not a Miss Universe, but it still does have its own challenges where you have to convince people, you know, where's this money going? And so I think definitely some of it would go towards that. And
what is this foundation called?
The Zozibini Tunzi Foundation.
Yes, what is it for?
Women, children, and education. Or women are at the core of my heart. Everyone who knows me knows that that's a hill I'm willing to die on. And so it definitely will be for that. And education, again, very important to me, because I grew up with that thing that you have to get an education. My mom's a school principal, and so and not only that, but every South African child deserves to have one, because it is a fighting chance of just making it out in the world, because it's really, really wild out there. And you would think that education is a basic thing that everybody has access to, but it's really not. And so that's why that is very important to me.
Were there things you had to stop doing? Because it sounds like it's so much pressure being Miss SA, Miss Universe. Like, you can't go out with your man, for example. You can't go to a nude beach, for example.
See, that's
you can't get married.
Yeah, okay, that one. I think
you can't get married.
You can be engaged. You cannot be married. But now, actually, there's a new...
I love this for society. Something that actually says, Ninga Shati. Oh, I love it.
Dineo, stop.
Makes me so
there's
happy.
actually a new rule. Last week, Miss Universe announced that they will, in fact, be allowing women who have children.
Oh, that's
and
beautiful.
Women who are
finally
married to be... I know, it's a beautiful change, and I'm very happy that it came in my lifetime, because having a child is not... I mean, you're a woman. It's a biological thing.
I think you're a human being, and procreation is part of your anatomy.
Yep.
That's just what it is.
Yeah, and we have so many stories of young women who have had kids at a very young age and still have dreams and weren't able to pursue those dreams that they had, and now this is an opportunity for them to be able to do that too. But to your message, Miss South Africans are allowed to do a lot of things. It's just like a personal choice. You can date. You can be seen out with your boyfriend if you choose to.
In public?
You can.
Wow.
You really can. But I think it's just like how it was maybe in the past, and people still think that's how it is. You definitely are allowed. Of course, everything in moderation.
In moderation,
we can't now be like Savannah on your head. Because people are going to take photos of you and it's going to be a thing. But you definitely can.
You're repping a brand, I suppose, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
You're repping a brand and an institution that has been built over the years to portray itself in a certain way.
Perfection.
So I do believe that everything in moderation, indeed. Comes at a small DJ Mapurisa featuring Amifaku. Amifaku is going to be there with us on the 3rd of September.
Yes.
And you spoke about the song Izolo, Abalele.
Abalele.
The minute she drops it, we're going to lose it.
So this Vugile, but so Vuga even more.
Yeah,
I can't wait, man. Even Asibe Happy, that's a huge banger as well.
Oh man, it's going to be absolutely incredible. So listen here, if any of you know a person who's absolutely in love with Zozibini Tunzi, you would like us to have her surprise her with a birthday call and a birthday wish and dedication, please do call us, voice note us, let us know. She's more than glad to hop on board and surprise your loved one with a cute little birthday message. How important is family to you, Zo?
I think I would say...
Sorry, I just naturally called you Zo.
That's okay. That's okay. I welcome that.
Oh, thank you.
Family is literally one of the most important things to me. I can't live without them. I have 3 sisters who are my best friends. I was born with best friends.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
And my
no
mom,
sibling rivalry.
I mean, normal sibling rivalry stuff, like, stealing your sister's clothes.
Socks and things like that.
Things like that, but not like...
malicious.
Not like hectic, you can't come back from this.
You're not on speaking terms.
Yeah,
Bad.
No. We've never had that, and I hope it never gets to that, because, those are my people.
I'm interested in your guys' features. Who's the tallest? Because, I mean, you guys can, all 3 of you, like, you come from a pack of how many siblings? 4?
Yes, so I'm actually the tallest. My big sister is like maybe like a little, we're probably almost around about the same height, my big sister and I. My little sister is the shortest. She takes after my mom. Yeah. My mom's short. My dad is quite tall. He's a tall gentleman. Yeah. But they're gorgeous. Oh, I think I have the most beautiful.
And how's the relationship with your parents? Because I know they're separated, but they almost act like they still together. They get along.
My parents get along so well.
Yeah.
So my parents are separated, but I remember when they came to watch me for Miss Universe.
Yeah.
And everyone not knowing that they are separated just because of. it's for the kids, at the end of the day. You need to have like some kind of friendship and relationship in order for things to go well there. And so they're very they get along well. And I have a great relationship with, both my parents.
Yeah. Do you see the prospects of children in your future?
I do. And I know even how many. I want 2.
Yeah.
I want 2 because I don't want 1, because I want them to have siblings, to get this feeling that I have with my siblings. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to go too crazy. Just have 1. Just be friends together. Yeah. So I think I would love to have 2 kids.
And also the cost of living. I mean,
there's also that. I mean, it is expensive out here.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
It is expensive out here.
Sol's 1 running. I'm 3 running. You're fantasizing about 2.
Yes.
And you're also Zozibini.
So it
makes sense. It's perfect for you to have 2. You're not just that 2, right?
Man, we had to. Bottom half hour, we're decoding Zozibini, getting to know her better.
Molweni, this is Zozibini Tunzi on Kaya 959, on the streets, on the air, and in the universe.
How does that sound, listening back to yourself? Sounding very, very like you should be on radio.
Oh,
I know you've done a few stints.
I have. That was very fun. It's always strange, though, listening back to your voice. It's like listening back to a voice now.
Yeah, it's not nice, ne?
But yeah, it's very, very strange. But
would you do radio?
I definitely would, because I always have fun, when I go on radio, and I don't see why not. I would.
Well, you sound yourself. You sound very authentic and organic in the space.
Thank you.
I hope it comes together for you.
I mean, if it's coming from you, then I know it means something.
Speaking of talents, how did the movie come about, Woman King? Because you're also in it.
Yes, so that was a surprise. I mean, I like to tell people to let life sometimes take you by surprise, because I think we like to get caught in the moment of always planning. And so for me, I think that was one of the things that just, it came, it was an opportunity. And my manager, who's actually here with the cap.
Hey, girl.
She said, would you ever consider getting into acting? I said, well, I think of myself as a performer, depend on whatever space it is. I think of myself as a storyteller. So I don't see why not. I think I can. And I said, why? She's like, well, something just came if you want to try it out. And that's how I got into it.
Did you audition?
Yeah. I did.
Really?
I did. I really did.
And how was the process of like learning script and memorizing script and getting into character?
It was very fun, but also, I mean, we spoke about imposter syndrome a lot here, and because it was one of those things where it's like, why would I do this? I've never done this before. This is even now when I've heard people like, oh, Zozi, actress, and I'm like, I don't know how that sits, because it's I don't know how I feel yet, because it's brand new. But I had help, from such incredible people. Warren was amazing. Masemola, he is
brilliant. He's a beast.
He's brilliant.
So he's the one. We cannot. He is like the most talented person I think I've ever met, and he helped me.
All the praise he gets is
warranted.
My
goodness! So he helped me through that audition process, because I didn't even know what a script is. I didn't even know what this thing looks like, and he took me through the whole thing, and I'll just forever be grateful for that help from him.
So you speak of imposter syndrome, right?
Yes.
And that's a form of mental illness.
Yeah.
Quite a hectic one, actually. If you ever have experienced imposter syndrome, you know how hard it is to pull yourself out of that negativity within yourself, telling you you're not worthy, you're fake, you don't deserve the good things that you have happening to you. Now, I want to touch on you having formed a friendship with Christy.
Yes, Chesley Chris.
Yeah. And
my chestnut.
Oh, man. And I mean, she committed suicide.
Yes.
She decided that not having this anymore. Did you know as a friend that she was battling with these thoughts and toying around with them? Were there any telling signs that you could possibly say in hindsight, actually?
I still tear up when I think about this, because I stayed with Chesley for a year and a half, almost 2 years. That even when she moved out at some point to get her own apartment, was just helping each other move, and I still spent some time with her in her new space and new life, outside of now being Miss USA. And it's so scary to me what depression is, because it doesn't look like what we think it looks like.
It doesn't look like sadness at all.
Had high functioning depression. I would say I felt sad more times than she did, at least I thought. Because I'm very vocal about like my feelings. So if I felt sad or down about something, I'd be in her room like this happened. But she never was that. She was always the strong friend, very happy, bubbly, always laughing. She was a lawyer, a Miss USA, an extra correspondent, award nominated even. So she was incredible.
Quite accomplished.
Everything about her life was just outstanding. She was an outstanding person. And so it really begs the question of what does mental health and illness look like and depression look like, because she seemed very fine, at least from where I'm from. And I speak to her mom all the time, and she also wasn't really like 100% aware of what's happening, and she spoke to Chesley every day.
This is so frightening.
So it really is. She spoke to Chesley every day. She knew that she was struggling towards the ending days of her life, but she also didn't think it was to that extent.
How do you deal with your take care of your mental health? You did say you vocalize a lot. Apart from that, how else do you just take care of your mental health in that space?
I think it's really so important to see a professional. And I'll say this because we like to speak to our own people, and sometimes there's really nothing that they can do about it because they're not professionals. I think the first thing is to recognize mental illness, as a disease. When you get sick, you go to your doctor, they treat you. You don't go to your friend or your person to treat you. And so I think that's one of the important things to do. I do that. I've had, to speak to professionals, psychologists who know what they are talking about, but to also just surround yourself with good things and good people, people that you love, people that make you feel good about yourself, doing things that make you feel alive, do help as well.
I think it's very interesting because we describe most of the people that have committed suicide as people that were surrounded by love, goodness, good people.
Absolutely.
And all of that. I suppose it's something very interesting when you start lacking the vitality and the inspiration to live. It becomes very, very sad. It's almost like what more is there to do? Because we trivialize checking on our friends, like check on your friends. Even after you check on a friend, they're not in your physical control of what you do, of what they do after you check on them. How's the emotional and mental impact been on you post her passing?
It's been very difficult. One, I think it's just made me aware of my emotions and how I feel, about certain things. It's made me really look at life differently, like I said, in trying to find those things that do make me feel alive, because mental health is a personal thing. It's a personal thing. Nobody can, professionals can help, but at the end of the day, it will take you to pull yourself, outside of that. And so, it's a tough one, because like you said, everyone who's committed suicide has people. I mean, Chesley had us, had the whole world, had a family, and they describe it as feeling lonely even in the midst of having people full in a room. And it's a tough one for me. It's a tough one.
Is there like a mental challenge or post stress that you get when your reign comes to an end as a Miss South Africa or Miss Universe?
Absolutely, 100% there is. Well, for myself at least. And I mean, some other queens that I've spoken to as well. Because what people don't understand is you are taken, and I'm using that word very lightly because you're not taken, you put yourself in that in that world. From an ordinary, I was a PR marketing agency girl doing my internship, and then in 24 hours I was Miss South Africa. All of a sudden your life flips like that. There's nothing normal about that, and then you go through this, and then you win a Miss Universe, and then it takes another height, and then when you're done, it's a literally thank you so much for being with us. Go back to your life, we're on to the next one. And not even in like the most terrible way, but you now have to start anew. You now have to start figuring things out for yourself.
And they take the apartment away. These
they
fancy
do.
Whoa!
They do, because Immediately, I like to tell people an example. So if you can give me your hand if you mind. So Esther is the Miss Universe manager, and she always, there's a hand thing. She's such a mother, and there's a connection between you. She's been doing Miss Universe for like 20 years.
Wow.
So as you're standing backstage and she's holding your hand, she will let you know that in the next 2 minutes I will be letting go of your hand and I will be grabbing another girl's hand. And that is like it's the symbol of it all. And immediately when they say, the new Miss Universe, India, she literally lets go of your hand, and all that attention and all that thing, it just moves, and you stand there.
The curtains close
alone,
on your show.
and it's like, which way out of stage do I, go? And then you'll find like a security will take you back to your room. You'll pack up your bags the following morning and you go to wherever you're going.
Sure.
Right?
Zozibini Decoded. That is wild.
Yeah.
That is absolutely wild. Taking our time with her. We've reached top of the hour, 8 o'clock to the news desk. Tiger and Doja Cat, Freaky Dicky, Sol Penduga and I are obsessed with Doja Cat. I
love her.
Yeah.
I love her weirdness, madness. Love it.
I'm telling you, she is such a gem. She's like such an awkward little bunny and a talented awkward bunny.
She's just her.
Happy
She's
to be
herself.
herself.
It's like
She's
whatever. We're all in her world.
She is freaky dicky. We're all in her world, actually. Yeah. On the street, on the air, you're listening to Kaya 959. Also, Motona, Dineo Zozibini, as well as Sol Penduka. And on the line, I've got somebody that Zozi has to guess who this might be.
Oh my goodness.
Good morning. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
How are ya?
Is that my
I'm
sister?
good.
Is it? Who is that? Wait. Who is
Hello.
this?
Hi. Is Zosie there?
Yes,
Zozi
you're
is
speaking
here.
to
She can
Zozi.
hear you
God,
and trying to
Zozi.
figure out your
Thank
voice.
you so much, Zosie. You're such an inspiration to all of us.
Hanaz! Yes! Wait, is this... babe, how are you?
Are you talking about Hernaz?
Wait, who is
Is
this?
Hernaz also there?
Wait, who is this?
It's your person.
Oh my
You're
God.
supposed
You
to
know
be
her.
guessing
You
who
know
it
this
is.
Zosie,
person.
I just want to tell you that you have been such an inspiration, not only to me, but to everyone in the whole world. And I have started believing in myself, and I really, really think that I can do what I want to do after watching you conquering your goals. So thank you so much for doing that and inspiring and touching so many hearts around the world. I'm one of the biggest fans of yours. Can I have your com card, please?
Thank you so much, Miss Universe. I do have a card for you. I hope you have one for me too.
Beautiful.
No, but truly, whatever I say, I really mean it. I definitely need a com card, and it's something that I've never asked anyone. But truly, Zosie, you have really inspired me to be on the stage and to do something that you have done, irrespective of if I win Miss Universe or not. So thank you so much for being yourself, for being authentic and breaking so many stigmas and doing something that you truly believe in.
Aww.
Thank you for leaving that legacy behind so that I can take care of it and then pass it on to the successors.
Aww. Thank you so
I don't want
much.
to cry.
I want to cry. I'm tearing up too because, again, I've just been watching your journey as well. Since you got crowned, all your ups and all the downs as well, because unfortunately or fortunately, we get to see all of that and we get to be inspired by it and we get to learn from it. So you are incredible. I know India is proud of you and all the Miss Universe sisterhood is proud of you.
That's one Miss
Thank you
Universe
so much.
speaking to another Miss Universe.
Wild.
That's so wild. So that was in that moment when your hand was held backstage to be told that, listen, we're going to be, as soon as she is announced, I am going to be letting go of your hand. And with immediate effect, your hand was let go of and all the attention moved from you to her.
There's actually one between us to Andrea from Mexico, and then it was Hanaz. But yes, essentially it is moved to her because it's you have to pass.
She becomes the reigning
She becomes
queen.
the reigning queen. And like she said it so beautifully that she picked it up so that she can run her own mile and then give it to the next queen. And so I think that's what so beautiful about it is just watching all these other women come onto this platform and do incredible things with it.
And I think the bravery to be resilient in that moment, right? Because you have to have some sort of a shock resistance that you would have prepared yourself for, and to selflessly, under immense pressure, to now say this is the finality of it. It's your reign is done. I think it becomes a gift that keeps on giving for you, because you learn selflessness in that. You learn that sharing is essentially caring, and the spotlight is on you momentarily. Do the best you can and be happy for another when it's their season to receive light and glory. And obviously now all of this culminating to your big heart. You're doing some amazing work with the Mandela Project.
Yes, so I had so much fun with that, and again it spoke so much to me because it was speaking about what do we do in our everyday lives to make sure that we are lending a helping hand wherever we can. And people usually think it's something so dramatic and that, you know, it's really not. It's the smallest things of taking time out to, again, trying to better humanity, because I think we need that right now.
Yes,
humanity is at an all-time low, and so it was a very special project to say, here's a young South African woman who is, you know, starting out in her industry, who has overcome so many circumstances to be where she is. And I loved her story because it is a South African story. It is a black South African child's story. I mean, we're only how many years old? We're very young.
We're young. Where do we gain access to the content for the Mandela Project?
We actually can get the content they have it on their YouTube channel. It's a YouTube live series. I know you can find it on BET as well. So if you just go onto YouTube Live Originals, you will be able to see it.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. On a very creative note, Zozi sings, guys. Zozi sings. Yes, she does. I would say I want her to sing live on air, but I want you to listen to this quickly. Zozi actually sings.
When the night has come and the land is dark,
It's amazing.
and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand, won't you stand by me?
That is so strange.
Do you write, Zozi?
You're good.
She's brilliant.
And that was
She's
live.
Brilliant,
No auto-tune, no assistance from the computers.
No,
Do you see the way in which you moved us when you were crowned Miss Universe? Zoz, I can see you on stage with content that you've written and poured out into song.
Thank you.
And just having millions and millions of people gazing at you, being moved by you, global status. Album in the making?
Definitely throwing it in the wind and hoping
Throwing
that
it to the universe.
Throwing it to the universe.
I mean, it's still yours.
That is something that I dream of, you know, and I'll be honest, for the longest time I've just been scared of going into that part of myself, because I mean it requires a lot of emotion, but then also because I love it so much, you want to protect the things that you love. And so I don't know, for the longest time I did not want to sing. I was like, this is not something that I'm going to do. I'm just sing in my shower. I don't want to. Again, being scared of what if it fails? Actually, what if it succeeds?
What if it succeeds?
Because that is actually another scary thing as well. So.
What on earth were you doing in public relations? Like, with all this talent, I mean, you're acting, Hollywood movie now, you can sing, and you were studying public relations.
Sometimes we have to go through all of these channels in order to find ourselves. I don't once consider it as a waste, anything that I've done in my life. Every moment, every up, every down has been a
path
leading,
to this.
a path to where I am.
I've got
So,
placement
Beautiful.
for it.
absolutely.
I've got placement for it. So, an answer to that question was so she could better relate to the public.
Absolutely.
Cheers!
Woo!
Cheers!
You guys are dropping bombs.
Bars!
I love that. I love that. I really do.
Dope, absolutely. 18 minutes after 8, ladies and gents. We all love her. We all love her, and I can guarantee you, that which you fear the most, run towards it. Yeah. Caution to the wind, run towards it. Particularly if it has anything to do with embettering the feelings of another. Music can never harm you, Zoz. Can never harm you. It can challenge you, but it can never harm you.
Well, thank you for that.
You're going to touch us. If you're writing, you're definitely going to touch us. And if you have it in you to have that inkling to pick the right song that was written for you, Bona Miss Universe is going to be a thing of a very, very small past in comparison to where you're going musically.
I already have a stage name for you. Zozibini Tunzi.
Can somebody stop him?
It's amazing, Kabelo and Masheleng. He's going to be at the Wanderers Stadium on the 3rd of September, by the by. Quite a fest happening in that segment.
Oh, yeah, legends. Tebe is also there. We've got some quite legends.
Abuti Bula Boot.
Yeah, one and only.
Absolutely. We're not going to be bularing any boots, trust. All the action is going to be on stage, not in anyone's boot. 26 minutes after 8 o'clock in the morning, your Thursday edition of 959 Breakfast, decoding Zozibini. And on the line, I've got Stephanie Wheel, CEO at Miss South Africa. Stephanie, good morning.
Morning.
How are ya?
Good. How are you?
Listen, fantastic. Cannot complain at all. Stephanie, we're talking about the Crowniversary here. What exactly is the Crowniversary, and why is it so significant for you to be on air this morning chatting with our Zozi here about this Crowniversary and the rest of us, actually?
Oh, your Zozi, my Zozi.
Yeah. Our Zozi.
Our Zozi. No, it's just such a momentous occasion. I mean, I cannot believe 3 years ago and a few days, we were sitting exactly where I am right now in Times Square in Pretoria, straight after she had just won the Miss South Africa crown on Women's Day in 2019. And it's just such an incredible thing to look now when we come back to it, that she's now judging, she's on our selection committee, and as Miss Universe and all the things that she has become as Zozi. It's just such a special and just real full circle moment, I think, for us all, and especially for Zozi.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Steffi.
Zozi, what does this mean to you?
Firstly, I can't believe it's been 3 years since I won Miss South Africa. That's just wild to me.
Yeah.
But it's so special. Like she said, it's a full circle moment. I will be, one of the judges at the place that I won.
Crazy,
Miss South Africa. It's mind blowing. I think there's just something special about it to be able to go back, because sometimes you forget how far you've come when you are in the moment. So sometimes it's nice to sit and reflect and think, this happened.
Absolutely.
It was very important, not only for me, but I think for a lot of South Africans as well. And that's why it will forever be special.
Steph, while I have you on the line, what can we look forward to this Saturday?
Beauty.
Beauty.
It's just going to be, I think it's just going to be bigger and better. I'm so happy we're back at full capacity. We had a full show. First time since Zozi that we're back in Pretoria, so it's even that much more special. We've just got the biggest performers, the most incredible panel. We've got Anele hosting. It's just going to be an epic, bigger and better show.
We're all excited about it. We're all certainly excited about it. Going to have to let you go now. We've fast run out of time with you. Stephanie Wheel, CEO at Miss South Africa, the Crowniversary.
Yes. That was 2 days ago. Crazy,
hey?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm still curious how they got to Tulima Donsel as one of the judges. I wanted to ask Steph that, but we don't have time. I really wanted to ask her that.
Thank heavens we ran out of time. I know. Thank heavens we ran out of time.
No, she's gone.
No, we're not asking her that.
It's a real question.
Is it a real question?
Yeah, like
why can't she do that?
I'm not saying she can't, but how did they, eventually decide on her? It's just like she's an advocate, former public protector.
Yes, that's exactly why.
That's exactly why.
Because I think you're thinking, when people think beauty pageants sometimes, I don't know, I think you're thinking 1960s or something, where it was like, because now if you look at the women that come on there, you were part of the selection committee last year. You've never been a Miss South Africa.
But it makes sense.
I've never, and I'm a very rebellious sort of woman, so you would wonder, why is Dineo there? Purely because as a woman, there are certain qualities that I have that I can see in other women and hold them to a glory pedestal for being so authentic, for being so genuine, for being so brave about embracing themselves with all their kinks and quirks. This is changing now. It's not just about Barbie dolls and the perfect image woman. It's really truly about embodying every essence of woman.
She's a South African woman.
She's a South African woman.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough.
Thank you. So we've answered on behalf of the CEO of Miss South. I can take
She was going to butcher the answer. You did a good job. You did a great job.
Oh my gosh. Bottom half hour, everyone. Decoding Zozibini. It's a Thursday. Let's have fun with it. But before, to the news desk. Zozi?
Yes.
Let's take a listen to your goodbye moment as we wrap you up. This was your Miss Universe. Adios, amigos.
Wow.
Well then.
From the moment I won, I knew my reign would be different, but I never imagined it would be during a global pandemic. However, I had the opportunity to touch twice as many lives because the world went virtual. I lent my voice to combating race and gender inequality. It was important to amplify the Black Lives Matter message and have conversations to help end systemic racism and support survivors of abuse. My Miss Universe win is my ancestors' wildest dream. We are now in a world where a Black African girl from a country that is only 27 years into its democracy can represent them on a global stage. I want to honor them for fighting for my freedom so that I could be where I am today. Thank you to my family and South Africa. I'm proud knowing that I did my best to make a difference, cementing a footprint for others to follow in the future.
Wow.
It's goodbye and so long to you.
I am sad. This was fun.
May all of your wishes come true.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for having me. This was so fun. You guys are cool people.
Oh,
Thank you for waking up.
You're awesome.
And good luck with Woman King. I noticed it drops on the 16th of September, 2 days before your birthday.
Before my birthday.
Wow, crazy, right?
Yes. Happy belated birthday. So it never gets belated. Zozi, it was a pleasure co-hosting with you.
Thank you so
Sol
much.
and I completely enjoyed
I
it.
loved your company.
Yeah.
Thanks. You guys should invite me back.
We will.
definitely.
We definitely will. I think the listeners would love to have you back as well. So listen, don't forget to live light, laugh long, love the ones you with, serve and sanitize those that you love. Okay? And guys, imali mangeko is the worst time to take each other's clothes off and do things that they do on the best tea in the city, which is coming up at 9. Hauna mali, marufunu kulimbasha, hambo sebenza.